home in the past year, and for many, it's been a chance to reconnect with loved ones, but it hasn't all been plain sailing.
This is one of the themes explored in the BBC's new film starring James McAvoy and Sharon Horgan. It's called Together. It's about a married couple forced to confront their relationship issues during lockdown. Let's have a look.
Do you know what blows my mind? Do you know what actually wakes me up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat is the fact that I used to love him. I did. I really did. I mean, how's that even possible?
Believe me, our former feelings for each other are as inexplicable to me as they are to you, but she's right. We were in love. I thought she was incredible.
I thought he was charming.
Yeah, I think you're repugnant.
Oh, gosh, it's very tense. We're joined now by actors James McAvoy and Sharon Horgan. Morning, both. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I love to see your smiling faces laughing at this because intense, I think, is a good experience, a good sort of way of explaining it. Sharon, just tell us, it's set up on the first day of lockdown, isn't it? That's where we start.
Yeah, it's about a couple who really should be apart, who are forced to stay together over the year of the lockdown, and then everything they go through together, you know, and really stuff that happened to everyone. He lost his job. Her mother goes into a care home. You know, they're having to battle through all this stuff whilst sort of actively hating each other. But, I mean, that sounds kind of grim. There's a lot of hope and love in there as well over the course of it. But you got to stick with it, really.
James, I asked Louise what she thought of it when we came in this morning. And Louise, by her own admission, doesn't like conflict. So I think she found it all quite stressful.
It's look, it's built around conflict. It is built around the fact that they don't get on. But it is really funny. And it's and I think it's kind of funny pretty much from the word go. It's not just arguments, it's not just jokes, it's got a whole lot of anger in it as well about the response to the pandemic, the response to the virus. But it's, I don't know, man, it was so clear from maybe page 3 or 4 that I was desperate to do this because it was just too funny and too real, relating to everything that we've all been through for the last year.
Oh, and James, I mean, I love so much about it. It's sort of like you're both talking. I was trying to explain. It's like a stream of consciousness. You're both talking about each other when the other person is in the room saying things that most people would never say, James.
Yes. We kind of don't have any filter. I mean, the thing is, they've agreed to live with each other for their child, basically. And in doing so, they've both sort of confronted the fact, and with each other, that they think the other one's rotten. And then lockdown happens. So the brilliant thing is, this thing's happening the world over, but these two, they think they're special. They think it's worse for them because they're like, no, you don't understand. We don't even like each other. And what's beautiful, over the course of the year, I think they start to realise they're just like everybody else. And they have that thing that there was a lot of talk during the last year of lockdown actually being good for people and actually giving us space to think and evolve and maybe become slightly better versions of ourselves. We don't talk about that at all in the film, but you do see it happening to them in different ways.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting to chart that, John.
And Sharon, what's clear from sort of reading around this, that both of you were attracted not only to the writing of Dennis Kelly, as James has mentioned, but also the director, Stephen Daldry. What is it about the pair of them together that's made this so special?
Oh, I would never have put them together in the first place. That's what was extra exciting about it. I mean, I think from a writing point of view, Dennis just, you know, he's not scared of anything. He just sort of tells it like it is. And he's just very good at tapping into the human condition and being incredibly honest about it. And I think Stephen Daldry just has a really clear vision that you never really understand until, you know, you're right in the middle of it. He approached it like a play, really, I think, initially. So much of it is to camera, and it's like talking to a marriage therapist, and the fact that he was able to visually make that interesting and sort of get it up on its feet and treat the whole thing like he choreographed it, you know, from the second we open our mouths right through to the end. It's so beautifully visualized.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, I mean, so many people will relate to it, and that you don't have names, you're just called he and she, Sharon.
Yes, I know. I felt very rude just constantly going, you know, he... I just ended up calling him James.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really, I don't know. I found that bit kind of tricky, actually, him not having a name, but it sort of suited the material because you just go him anyway when you're really angry with someone.
And James, what other stuff are you working on at the minute? Because every time we speak to an actor on this programme, you've obviously missed out on. We've all missed out, haven't we, on the ability to go and watch stage performances or go to the cinema or whatever it might be. But in your industry, there's been quite a bit of backlog of work, I would imagine, and now quite a few projects in the pipeline. Yeah,
there has been a backlog, but at the same time, I think after the first couple of months of the initial lockdown, it was we were designated as an essential industry, so kind of work just continued because everybody was sitting at home watching their streaming sites, and it was like, oh God, we need product, we need content. So we were all COVID tested and sent out to go and do it. So weird that we're essential. I'm doing His Dark Materials, which is another BBC show, and we're doing that down in Wales at the moment. I'm driving back down there in a couple of hours to go and do a big set piece with my snow leopard Stella Maria, and I'm excited to get back to season 3.
Oh, I'm super excited. I can't tell you how excited I am about that, James.
She's about to fangirl you.
Yeah, when are we going to get it on the telly?
What was it?
When are we going to get it on the telly? Are you ignoring me on purpose?
Yeah, no, what was that? I can't hear that question. Yes, I don't know, actually, to be honest with you. That kind of question is above my pay grade, but probably at the beginning of next year, I reckon, just after Christmas. But I just said that doesn't mean anything.
I can see the headlines now. There's somebody furiously typing it out. Yeah. McAvoy says season 3.
That'll be me. Sharon, what about you? Because you're constantly busy writing as well, presumably.
Yes, yeah, it was handy having being able to write, being able to develop during the first bit of lockdown, and then it all sort of kicked in again, and you just can't get crew at the moment because everyone is filming everything. But This Way Up, Aisling B's show is in the last bit in the edit, so that will be coming out soon. And then everybody's talking about Jamie, the film adaptation of the musical in September. So they're fun things.
Loads going on. Obviously doing a bit of cycling as well. Which one of those is yours, Sharon?
Oh, yeah, I know. How ridiculous. My one I put over there, it's got flat tyres and it looks like no one cycled it in 3 years because no one has.
Oh, James, just tell us a little bit about it as well, because presumably, so you're all COVID safe, etc., but then you come to do publicity and you're not allowed to sit next to each other, presumably.
This is ridiculous. So I generally prefer to do press alongside somebody from the cast. Sharon and I got on like a house on fire and we had a right old laugh. So I was like, can we do our press together? And they're like, no. I was like, why not? And she said, well, COVID, we've got to have you distanced and separated, and we've got to clean the room after one of you leave. And then we were like, all right, because yesterday we were on set snogging each other. So what is you know what I mean? We literally were exchanging saliva for a living. And we're allowed to sit in the same room and chat. So weird.
It is strange, isn't it? I've got to ask you as well, James, about the Euros.
There's so many questions you could ask.
I know, I could talk to you for hours. What do you think of Game 1 for Scotland, and how do you feel about the England game on Friday?
What do I think about Game 1? I thought we played well. I thought it was a really interesting, good game. I think Steve Clarke he did so much right. I think we get done by a wonder goal. I think Marsh was too far up. I mean, he's an amazing guy and he got us there, but I've never seen a goalkeeper standing that far away from his goal. And we get done by that, and that's a wee shame. But we played a good game. We had tons of chances. You don't get a lot of chances in international football. So I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the guys just for getting us there. That's the win for me, anyway. And then when we play on Friday, I think you've got to put Monday behind you. You've got to go into round 2. And, we were nervous, I think, at the beginning of that game. You could see it in a couple of the lads. But I think hopefully those nerves have been exercised and maybe some lessons have been learned about what tournament football is again, because it's been 23 years. And Scotland against England, anything can happen. But you can level in a game like that. And I'm going to the... I'm very excited.
Oh, he's going. He's at Wembley.
He's going. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry to stop you there. James, Sharon, both. Thanks.
Together, sorry, I should have asked about football, but I couldn't help myself. Together is on BBC Two tomorrow at 9 o'clock and will also be available.